so I don't really pay attention to them. It's only if like somebody does like a jailbreak, berserk, slaughter, wants to leave, any of those sort of things, then I kind of pay attention to what they're doing. But like Armadillo's a pretty solid colonist, to be fair. He's just down here. He does like plants. He also does creepy breathing. That's a skill. Imagine if that's his skill. I just think of Brainy from Hey Arnold. Like, does everybody know what I'm on about with that? You know, the kid that pops up behind Helga and is always like breathing and she punches him. Yeah, that's what I think of whenever I see somebody has creepy breathing and stuff. Yeah. I don't think I've ever met somebody that's done that in real life. No, actually, hold on. Shut up. My partner does it. I didn't make the connection. No, my partner does that. His, like I've said before, his nose is decorative. So, a lot of the time he does, like, I call it predator breathing. You know how, like, in the Predator movies, they make that, like, sort of almost clicky kind of breathing noise thing? Yeah, that's what he does. Remember Hey Arnold, but not that kid. I do remember Helga, though. I quite like Hey Arnold as a show. So, like, when I was a kid, I don't think I appreciated it as much as I do now. And as an adult watching it, it's so enjoyable to watch. Because, like, it is, like, fantasy. But it does have some, like, really deep down-to-earth moments and shit. And it's kind of nice, sort of thing. That and, like, if you actually, like, take a closer look at all, like, the kids and their lives and why they're doing what they're doing and how they're doing what they're doing and stuff. Like, some of it's pretty, like, majorly sad. Some of the shit. Like, their home lives are just not good. Or, like, for instance, Helga, like, the whole reason why she's, like, outwardly violent and stuff is because she's just completely, basically invisible at home. Her mum's like, drunk, always passed out alcoholic, and her dad's, like, pretty obsessed with, like, work and stuff, but as soon as her sister's on the scene, she doesn't exist and stuff. If you actually, like, watch through the show, it shows how, like, from the very first day she wanted to go to school, she had to take herself to school. Like, kindergarten kind of thing. And, yeah, pretty, like, holy shit. But, yeah, I don't know. A lot of cartoons from, like, the 90s were, like, really... Well, 90s and early 2000s were, like, really, really fucking emotionally deeper. Which, honestly, I still appreciate. Like I said, like, Star vs. the Forces of Evil was, like, a surprisingly deep cartoon, like, plot-wise. Even though it was, like, really fantastical and silly at times. Like, I'm kind of itching to watch Gravity Falls again at the moment. I keep seeing, like, clips of Gravity Falls, and I quite enjoy watching that because it's just cartoony enough that you can kind of, like, just enjoy any episode randomly without it necessarily being in order. But at the same time, like, the actual story and stuff that slowly progresses through it and all of, like, the hidden shit and stuff is really cool. So you can watch it a few times and still be finding stuff, you know. But Hey Arnold I watch every so often. I sit down and, like, go through the whole show because it's very, like, I know it pretty well, but it's also very enjoyable just to have chill in the background. And some of the episodes, like, I pay attention to. Some of them I don't pay as much attention to. So someone called the 90s, the time when depression was cool, and honestly I have to agree. Well, I mean, Daria was in and around there, so I would say yes. Like, Daria wasn't depressed, but at the same time, it was a completely different type of show, you know? Like, it was more cynical and down-to-earth kind of thing. More, I don't know. know how to like say, where is Tade? Actually, where is Tade? Tade's... Why are you moving slowly, mate? Your right leg's got a scar on it. Okay, that explains some things. Yeah, I don't know. I like watching Daria. Again, it's like a lot of it is just kind of like, sure, there's excessive like silly shit in it and stuff that's kind of over the top. And then of course there's parts that are like pretty deep and real about it. Your infection is extreme, mate, but because you've been psychotically wandering this whole time, you or your leg are either gonna die. There's another greedy. You do mining. Honestly, I took you because you have a cool name, but I'm not about to knock you out just to try to save you, mate. So good luck with that infection. I do want the steel out of this, so I don't want Tade to take the whole thing. I did ask Kangaroo to come up here, but I think she's asleep. So once they've got this little section up here, we'll fuck off out of here. But what are the other shows? Like I always really liked Daria, the show and the character and stuff. I actually, so when I was like growing up and stuff, Jane's like triple ear piercings, her best mate, I wanted that when I grew up. I'm like, I knew from the moment I saw it, I'm like, I'm gonna have like at least 3 piercings in my ears and stuff. So yeah, basically as soon as I was like old enough to have a say in how much piercings I want in my ears, I was like immediately went and got seconds. And then when I could, like, you have to wait to heal a little bit, and I got my like thirds like a month later and stuff. I know the show, but they didn't air it in Poland. They used to air it on, well, in Australia they aired it on a channel called like SBS, I think, which was kind of like sort of an international channel for us. So it had more kind of gritty, mature themed shows and stuff, and sports and international broadcasts and shit. But yeah, it used to just be on at like in the afternoon around about like 4. So I'd have enough time usually to get home to be able to watch it. Obviously, like as I got older, I worked out how to use the VCR. So I was able to record episodes and shit, so I could just watch it later and stuff. But yeah, no, I enjoyed watching it. There was so many shows in the afternoon. There was like a 2-hour show block of just random ass cartoons and crap. Some of them were terrible. There was a lot of puppets back then. I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't know what it is, but I just don't get much out of puppet characters. Like, I'm not talking about the ones that, like, you know, your hands up them. I'm talking about the ones where they're like move around with little wires. So like the hand movements kind of like bob and swoop and stuff. I don't get much out of that, which is funny because I don't mind the hand puppety ones. Like Sooty Sweep and Sue and stuff. Like they're fine. That's an old ass show. That's an old show. I would not expect anybody to get the obscure reference of that. But yeah, I don't know. There's that and like plasticine stop motion stuff. A lot of that on TV at the time. That's why I liked more the cartoony ones, like, you know, the Hey Arnold, or obviously like I watched Digimon and all sorts of stuff. Digimon was always in the afternoon. I think Digimon and Pokemon were afternoon. Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon were in the morning, and Card Captors were in the morning. But yeah, you got kind of like your kind of cartoons, like not anime, but cartoons were more so in the actual afternoon and stuff. I know Kangaroo's supposed to be doing this, but when Tade's done, I just need you guys to get out of here. Angels and Digimon. Oh yeah. I kind of, to some degree, I guess resonated with like the littlest kids in that, because I was still pretty young when it was out. And like the littlest kid, the little girl, she had a cat Digimon, so obviously like I liked that. Mate, can you work on this? Go back. Yeah, I like the cat one. I didn't get too much out of her turning into the angel, But I did like the concept that the two youngest kids ones did turn into like human type angel things. I did think that that was cool. Alright, you guys go home. And they're not going to be able to carry everything. This is why I was sending out the other caravan, but we'll see what we can carry. I didn't end up hunting anything. Oh, I got a hare. That's it. Alright, are you coming home or going out? You're going out. Alright. I might be able to overlap these two if I'm lucky and get one home faster, or if there's another mine fan out here, I'll swap them over. Send a couple people home. Mega Scarab's got to get some fucking tending though. I liked Garurumon, I think it was. Hold on. No, you pin that right back to where that was. I went to click on something and it's like, oh, I'm unpinning. I'm like, fuck you. Let me just double check that that's Garurumon. I can't spell it. That's good enough. Yep, no, that's it. The wolf one. I like that one. I also liked his handler, Matt. I don't know what his his name is and all the other things, but Matt was like super cool, obviously. And Garurumon, I liked him. I thought he was a really cool like wolf creature thing. I didn't mind like Agumon or Greymon. Greymon was kind of cool because I like dinosaurs and shit, but I didn't like him as much as Garurumon. I also didn't mind... What's Izzy's one? Hold on, I can't remember Izzy's. Izzy's Digimon. Because it's a bug, but it turned into like a horrifying giant beetle thing, which is kind of cool. Why won't you tell me what it's called? What is your... Where is its name? It won't tell me. Fine, keep your secrets, internet. Fuck you. I had to look it up, but yeah, it was one of my faves. I didn't get to watch Digimon that much though. Shaman King was the shit. I don't know what Shaman King is. Hold on. What is Shaman King? We didn't have that. We had, what's it called? I have a person in my community with the little name of it. I don't. I can't remember if it off the top of my head, but I know I have somebody in my community with the literal name as their name. My list. It'll be a while back. Hold on. This is important to me. I liked the show. It was a really awful show, but I liked it. Hopefully they're still following me, because if they're not, I won't be able to tell you guys what it is. Oh, Shinzo. Shinzo is what it's called. We had Shinzo instead of Shaman King. And it was kind of like a sort of... The way that they English dubbed it, it was kind of generic-y. But at the same time, it wasn't bad. I'm going to get you guys to all go to that. We'll jettison the rabbit because there's no way we're getting that rabbit home. Yeah, it had a really weird premise where like cards would like fly into some guy's nipples and he would transform and shit. But the cards were like his best mates in like their form, but like they would turn into cards to merge with him. It was great. I loved the intro song for that show. It was really good. It's just literally a lot of whoa, like literally just saying whoa kind of thing a lot. But it had a fucking good beat. It had a good chorus. Shit. I didn't get to watch Digimon that much though. The most said line in that show was Amidomaru to the sword. The funny thing is, in Poland, the sword is a euphemism. What is the first part of that word, though? Hold up. Let's see what that word is. Is it like a character? samurai serves guardian ghosts, numerous killings and a bad reputation carried all the way. Is he just literally saying his name in a sword? Yes, it's a character's name. All right, that doesn't surprise me though. A lot of anime around that time was very gimmicky kind of thing. I'm gonna say it as that because like a lot of the animes that were kind of like, at least in Australia on mainstream TV, were kind of had like a repetitive premise to it, would have like specific phrases, poses, transformations, songs, whatever, that were repeated every single episode and stuff like that. So if it has like a phrase that's being like common or put in there like frequently, that doesn't surprise me. You're recruitable, mate. Muffalo is recruitable. I still don't know if Mega Scarab's gonna live because of the level of infection in his leg. But I guess we're gonna find out. It's extreme, so he's either gonna die or his leg's gonna die. I can't exactly amputate him out there. I don't have a doctor with him yet. It was a spirit he commanded to possess an ancient sword. Oh yeah. He, as in the main character. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I love how with anime, a sentence like that does make perfect sense. Like, I have seen weirder shit. I've seen less sensical stuff in anime, so it's fine. I don't know. I kind of like would love to like sit down and rewatch like Shinzo, but I know I would probably be driven mad by it in this day and age. When I was a kid, you don't notice the pattern of repetitiveness. Like same with Digimon. I have rewatched Digimon. I've rewatched it in both English and Japanese because I originally watched it in English. I find that English spoken dub is usually a lot more aggressive. Like there's a lot more like you're an idiot or swearing or stuff like that, right? Whereas like the Japanese one is a lot more plot driven kind of stuff, so I don't mind that. But then I don't know, I like the concept of Digimon being that, like, you know, so early on they were just like, they're in a world, they just have to exist and one day they'll get back and stuff like that, you know, as opposed to like, I didn't mind Pokemon as more of like a fantasy world concept where like it's just a different type of world and all the animals are Pokemon instead of being just creatures and stuff. But I think they also had like a few normal creatures lurking around too, which just made it weird. I think there was like a few scenes where there's like regular birds and stuff. Oh my god, I've got like 3 chickens moving in unison here. Sorry, I gotta watch this. Sorry, there's 4. Wait, is that 4? Yeah. There might be a lot more chicken in that spot. If you get out of the way, cow. No, there's 5 chickens in there. There was 6. Okay, I've got a flock of chickens moving in unison. I'm guessing eggs hatched. This is pretty entertaining to me because they just keep overlapping and turning into like less and less numbers and then more numbers, and it's like I want to see where they branch out and just turn into a large group because I like seeing that in this game. But yeah, I don't know. I've watched like a little bit of Sailor Moon again recently, and I actually just found it was upsetting to watch. Like, I really did like Sailor Moon back when I was in high school, but I also have like a different logic at 37 than I did at 15, you know? It's like a lot of the anime and stuff like that back then was kind of like more focused on like the will they, won't they, love triangle, nobody knows what's going on, nobody can tell what's going on type of stuff. At 37 years old, I can generally watch most shows and be like, this guy's giving out all these signals that says that he genuinely likes and or cares for this character, even though he's being a dick, and he's actually probably pretty sweet and actually cares about her well-being and crap. And then you've got like the flip side, cold as ice character that, you know, the girl's interested in, and I'm like, they don't care for you, and you know the main character themselves and like the stuff that they do. I'm like, I find it harder to watch now. I find it a lot harder. I've also had good anime in like the last like decade or so, which has like really nice wholesome relationships and stuff, and I think that spoilt it for like some animes, because like once you've watched an anime where like they've actually got like genuine progression and there's like wholesome healthy relationships and stuff, and I don't know, I know it's a bit of like, what do you call it, subvert expectation, where like you're expecting them to will they won't they after so many anime, and then they just do, you know, and then they like progress with that and stuff. It's in a way a little bit of a breath of fresh air, but it's also kind of, it's almost not. I can't be happy with anime, honestly. I'd love to sit down and watch some again recently. I've been also seeing clips of fucking Inuyasha again. And I'm like, I could watch some Inuyasha. I don't think I have it, but I'm like, I could watch Inuyasha. The old one. The original, obviously, in Japanese. But apparently they're made or making a remake of that. So I don't generally watch remakes, but they've remade Ranma Half too. And I sort of do want to watch that just to see what they did, because the art's very clean. But I also prefer the original. I also have all the books. So the books to the original anime are basically 1-to-1. It's the same. Like you can read the manga or you can watch the anime and it's the same thing. Which I really appreciate that. I hate when they change it and it's so far from like what it was, you know? Like you go in and you're like expecting the anime or you're expecting the manga, either or, to have a specific scene or do a specific thing because it's what you've seen, and then they don't do it. It's something completely different. Mate, I need you to rescue him. There you go. We'll go and find the gold lump here. When you have so many things move randomly, apparent randomness gets lost because there's only so many paths to the same point. Yeah, I know that the animals were trying to get to food, right? They must have hatched and then they were trying to go get themselves some food. But it was just, I always find it really interesting whenever eggs, like a large cluster of eggs on RimWorld, hatch together in a pile. And then you end up with like just a swarm of creatures moving around. Sharper 11 Egan. I haven't seen those before. Let's go find somebody to talk to you. Viper, mate. Is it Viper or Vulture? It's Vulture I'm looking for. It's fine. Let's see who's around. Mitsu. No. Labia. Yeah. Labia, come with me. You got a trade to go get done. Alright, let me save that. Alright. We'll get that trade done. The anime loves to get so bad all the time. It's genuinely surprising when the characters show proper affection or, God forbid, kiss properly. Yeah, I've had a couple of both manga and anime where, like, it's been, like, the relationship has been a genuine progression and they haven't fucked around with, like, I hate it when you get, like, halfway through, like, a story and they're really, really good, but then there's a forced misunderstanding and nobody communicates and stuff, and then it just breaks it back down to the beginning. I hate that shit. I hate it with a passion, because it's like, it's so painful to read or watch, that sort of thing. And there's like so much avoidance, and yeah, it's crappy writing is how I feel about it. Because it's always like a fucking sister or friend or something like that that's taken the guy, like helping pick out a fucking ring or something like that. Like the guy's always about to propose or something, and that's why there's a misunderstanding, is because like the partner's seen him with this other girl kind of thing. It's always that shit. Whereas like a couple of the ones that I've got, like they've kind of like asked about it, or like they haven't like run off, or like, you know, it's happened soon after, where the ring or the piece of jewelry or the item or the gift, whatever, has been gifted to the person the same fucking day. So the person has no qualms to understand that, oh, this person helped you find this item and stuff. Who's roaming and why? What the hell's going on? Hold on. It's not my door down here. Why are you roaming? Is this it? Vaughn's on it. Vaughn, that's not enough. Acosta, love. I need you to haul. Also, do you need an eye? Oh, you do. You need an eye and a leg. Hold on, let's get Acosta an eye and a leg. I don't know if I've got an eye, but I should have a bionic leg. Yes. I think it was right. Nope, it's left. You're not getting 2 legs. There you go. We'll get you an eye later. I don't believe I have one in storage. We do have a lung and a kidney. I do need to check my original people to see if they can get that. But somebody has a kidney shot off and somebody needs a lung. I think Nina needs a lung, actually. No. You just have a leg cut off. Alright, well, the trade will come up in a second, but I'm just going to check. Let's see. Tofu doesn't need organs. Jet does need a lung. Okay, you can get a lung. It's a left lung, right? I just remembered I bought organs. And I should probably install them. Is it right lung? Oh yeah, okay. It just shows which one for it. Yeah, I don't know. I actually have found I've probably read more manga in the last year or so than I really have like watched anime. I haven't watched anime for ages. I haven't watched anime for a couple of years. And it feels shit to say that because like I have shows I want to watch, and beyond the shows that I want to watch, I have like shows that I'd like to watch again. But because I watch everything in Japanese with subtitles, I have to have the attention span. I also appreciate the art too much. This is like probably just an issue with me being an artist in general, right? But when I read manga, I take way longer to read a manga than I should. Not because it's comprehension or anything like that. I take forever to look at every fucking part of the illustration on every fucking page. And I appreciate every friggin' line so much. It takes me forever to read something because of that. Even though there's like, in most manga, there's like fuck bugger all words. Anime captures me with the animation. The art in motion, oh my god, I get distracted with that shit. And then of course, like, if I'm also like got subtitles, oh yeah, Mega Scarab did die. Mate, you and your leg. Well, he had a chance to maybe live. Get off the spear, mate. I guess we gotta bring him home or they're gonna have a shit fit about it. All these people are gonna be upset. Actually, are the people at home upset about that? Oh, Falcon mate, how do you feel about his death? You're jealous of Gura's bedroom. Okay. Colonist died. Okay, so they are upset about that. But I do have a psychic soothe pulsar. I could pop off here if I needed to. But the fact that we got a corpse here, this isn't great. I will have to get this caravan to connect with them. Like, we could pick it up sooner and go. But I want them to finish mining what they're mining. Since we're definitely sending a caravan back and the other one's nearly here, there's a lot of animals to hunt. There are so many animals to hunt here. Look at this. I don't get this many animals on my home base. If I got this many animals on my home base, we'd be having both food and we'd be having fur, like crazy. I'm not even going to cut the trees for this one. I want the fresh meat. I want them out of here. Kangaroo is my person that does like hunting. I think Chase can do hunting too. It's a shame Mega Scarab died, but like, I'm clearly not bent out of shape about it, obviously. We have like 283 colonists. Like, this is taking us back to 282. I'm okay with that. I took some extra people I shouldn't have taken. Like, Like, it's cool that Muffalo's in here, but like, I really didn't need to take Muffalo. Blue Jay for Jaylee, obviously. We had to take Old Man Jaylee. And, like, I've got other people in here that are just generic whatever. But Mega Scarab did what? Mining and animals? I think? Crafting, mining, and construction. A little bit of animals. So yeah, they were fine. They're very young, though. That's a bit of a shame. But yeah, my caravan will be down here pretty soon. They're like probably within the day away. Once they get out of the mountains, they'll just rocket over to there. This one's still on its way back. I don't think they'll get back in time with the dead animals on them. I will have to drop that once they get back. But yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks we lost somebody, but like I said, it's not the worst. And Bannister and stuff are having a punch up, so I'll leave him there. And Acosta, I think Acosta's getting a lung installed at the moment. So, hold on, where is she? Is she in hospital yet? No, okay. Yeah, no, I'll save that. Yeah, so I think Acosta's getting a lung, and then I've got to find somebody else in the main group that needs a kidney. I think I bought a kidney. So out of the 21 originals, I'll get them sorted out. Plus I'll have to like fix up everybody's like hitching animals at the moment. So like we don't have anything else open, I don't think, but there is a small possibility. But yeah, really surprised I still haven't been attacked. Honestly, it's got to be coming in the next week. I've got to have a decent attack coming